Okay, so everyone are ready for Fantastic Friday. Tower number 5. Bin number 1. I just lifted the lid and we're going to have to do some investigation there. It's running about 84. I'm going to guess that the thermometer is misplaced somehow. So, can't even read my beads with I got these glasses on because this looks black, but it's the dark blue bead, and I believe we're going to have to leave it on there. This bins are heavy, and last week I left all the lids on them. Shoot! So we got an avocado green, the low castings, too much moisture, good amount, medium amount of cocoons. Okay? We'll see how we'll ramp this thing here in a minute, or a few minutes after we get through the bin. We're going to check down in the center first just to see exactly how hot it is down in the bottom, but shake our wormies off. And so I will mention why it is that I am doing this crazy thing here that I'm doing now with these worms this winter at the mothership over here in the East Wing. We have decided to switch over to microbial farming. We do not know whether we will be successful or not. This is all a huge investigation to see, one, if my scientific degree and new current study is fact or fiction. So we are technically, let's not call it an investigation, but I am doing some fact checking here of my own. This is going to take years. This is not a fact check that I'm going to be able to pull off just by running it through a computer. I'm going to have to get it here in front of me tactily and have some special goggles on to be able to see the depth that I need to see to feel comfortable that I need to proceed with this style of producing food in the future. Okay. Dig right here in the center. This, oh gosh, this top layer looks so beautiful. There is lots of castings up here. Lots of worms at the top, which I'm guessing that's because they're a little cooked down at the bottom. I mean, they're not cooked. I do see a really shiny, glossy amount down there. It's only 83, pretty much throughout. So that's kind of nice to know that that stays fairly consistent throughout the bin. They are out of food. I see in my zone here, my tunnel. Boy, these girls ate. Now, I don't know how much I gave them. I was on Tower 5, so maybe I thought I was getting a little low, which I was not. I wouldn't have been because I still have some now, but okay, this is really looking good. Real looking good. I love these leaves, how they're breaking up on this top layer. That's just beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do the corner flip just to see what the center looks like, and then if I feel like it's too wet and we're going to be then doing a total flip, we will do that. So let's just see how a couple of these pieces peel up. Really, it's stuck together, but not bad. Not bad at all. Here we are into the corner. There's another flip. And then I usually just bring this one over to the side. It's matte. It's matte down towards the bottom. I'm not seeing a whole lot of gloss at all. Nothing that I'm scared with. See how that fell apart? Super nice. This bin really just needs turned. Really just needs turned like this. But I feel like because I have so much bedding, I might want to go ahead and do a total flip. And then, because there's just, like I said, I don't have room to churn. Not that maybe I should be churning. I maybe shouldn't be doing all this churning. I haven't gotten to the churn versus no churn debate quite yet. Trying to get there. So I just feel like I really want to just take this off in layers when I do a total flip, because I just took some of the more moist bottom and put it towards the top. Or, you know, I took the bottom, put it to the top. Now I'm taking the top, putting it to the bottom. So it's kind of defeating when I look at that corner first. So I almost think I want to take that top layer off, put it to the bottom, and then do the corner assessment, and then the total flip. Okay, I'm getting extremely picky. I know, it's just the way I roll. I want everything to be perfect. And I want to know for sure, without a doubt, that my methods are producing a consistent product time and time again. You got to take the thought out of it, and that's what scientific research and investigation is all about. Consistency, uniformity, and a predictable product. So I'm gonna say it's a little sticky yet. I think that if we feed the pumpkin, and I'm gonna go ahead and maybe put some of that of our leftover oatmeal in the bottom. Oh, I don't want to get into any protein poisoning, but I have fed that oatmeal the first round. I did get into some of that, and I did not see any adverse reaction from using it, so I feel like I'm okay. But man, I'll tell you what, when you start getting into numbers like this, you get a little bit scared about, you know, just throwing something at them to feed them. You're a parent with a lot of babies and not just a few. So, oh, I absolutely love the leaves stage that they're broken down into right now. So what I want to probably do, maybe stop adding all that stuff though, so I can get some castings. I don't, like I said, I don't really want castings, say, to sell. I just want to at least go through the motions of collecting those castings at some point, so that I can at least just have that knowledge under my belt. I feel like we gain strength. And we're able to go out in the, what do we call that, the bold, great white, open, outdoors. Okay, yeah, don't you see, I see really a lot of worms throughout here, and I think, yes, they're out foraging now because they ran out of their food. They call that their euphoric food, I think. Okay, so they're out of that. So they're out foraging right now, and there's plenty for them to eat in this bedding, I promise. I still see some chunks of like manure, so if I see that, then I know we're good. But I want them to have some of that when I move them over to the nursery. I don't think that I want to be stuck on just making them clean up all the food, eat it, and then remove the castings. I think I want some of these particles to be able to into a bin to re-inoculate it when I start those breeder bins. So if we extract this in the spring, run it through the extractor, then we got to do something with the spent material. But the spent material doesn't necessarily mean that it's completely quenched and out of biology. It's still going to have biology in it. It'll still be inoculated. And then we'll take that and use that as our inoculum for our new breeder bin. And then add them some more bedding to feed on. And I hope that ends up being a win-win situation. I feel that it's very doable, that we will be able to extract these castings this spring. My plan is, I do have a large tank. I don't have to use that large of a tank. This can be done on a smaller scale. We don't have to use no 1,000-gallon tanks. I have a 600-gallon extracting tank. So that's pretty big. And, but we don't have to. I can maybe extract in smaller batches and then brew in that larger tank. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I still got to get to that thought process. Right now, these worms are my main focus. I want to figure them out. I want to know how long can I leave them without running into a disaster, so that when it comes springtime and I have to get in those beehives and I don't have the time for these worms anymore. You know, these got to go on autopilot. And if that means foraging and just adding some compost to the top of them real quick every 1 tower a day, a couple hours of work in the morning. The little man, he wakes me up too early. Probably in the summer it's going to be about 3 a.m. I try to talk him down, but he won't always listen. His rule is 8 hours in a bed is about his maximum before he's ready to move. And when I talk about the little man, I'm talking about Biggs. Biggs is my teacup chihuahua. He is the boss. He gets what he wants when he wants it. And if that means waking up at 3 a.m. so he can move to the what we call the kitchen table. He's so small that he has a little bed on our table, on our countertop. He has specific locations in the house where he likes to rest the best. And that's usually where he can see the most. And that's why he likes to be up on the counter. It's up high, so nobody's going to step on him. And, okay, so the backup bin is empty. Let's go ahead and give it a spray. And then, I know you all just hollered the word desiccate. Isn't that funny? Because it's the word of the week. We didn't want to forget that, do we? So someday I will bring Biggs to work so you all can see what a little boss man he can be. If I don't, you know, jump at his commands at 3 a.m., he comes, cleans my eyes for me. Yeah, he thinks they won't open. I clean them. Thinks they're going to open that way. They usually do. Or he's taking his hand. Yeah. So when I want to swipe at him, he'll run to the end of the bed and sit so I can't reach him. Then he gets vocal. So forget it. I gave up. I don't even fight with the man anymore. I just learned to wake up early. And I learned never to move him to that location until I have an 8-hour time that I'm going to be there. Oh, the world I live in, full of animals, full of excitement, and a lot of rules. Okay, so we're putting our coffee gardens down here. 1 for some forage, and then 2 as a little bit of a base layer. Let me get my oatmeal, which is right here. It's actually cold. I just took it out there this morning because overnight it's just a little cool. Not bad. Overnight so I let the gnats, there's so many gnats in here. There's always dead gnats, a million dead gnats on the floor. So I don't understand what that's about. But maybe once they get a certain age, they just die because they have to. So it's a little cool. I took it out there. I'll put the lid on. I'll capture as many as I can. Set it out there in the cold and let them. Does that sound mean? Okay. So that's a small amount. I hope that's not enough to make protein poisoning. And then we will go ahead and put some slivers in here. This is some frozen one too. Since they ate everything, I feel like I want to give them more, you know? Ooh, there's a lot of them in here. Lots and lots in here. I'm so happy. We have obviously been getting good hatch rates. The warm temperatures help with those cocoons, so I'm trying to leave the whole system on those seed mats for as long as possible. But once again, I keep forgetting. I have got to Google that. When will they reduce their reproduction? Because of me having them overpopulated here. Please, somebody, if you know, comment below. And here it goes. Oh, I wanted the oatmeal. We'll be able to use up all this oatmeal. And I don't know. I suppose if this is my experimental year, maybe I can just go and buy, the feed store has bags of oatmeal. And I can use that as a base. Maybe even, I don't know if I want to do the, really need to get out and scavenge a little more, talk to some of these local grocery stores and see what they can do for me. Thing is, I hate getting into an extreme because in the summertime, I don't know that I'll always be able to get in there. Yes, I go to town often enough, but it's getting into that, commitment, you know? There needs to be like an ice cream truck that drives around to worm farmers. I'm saying ice cream truck because you basically know what I'm talking about, how the truck will come to you and try to get you to eat the ice cream. We need a vegetable farming truck where, you know, the grocery stores come around with these wasted, spent vegetables to drop them off here, or to beg us to take their scraps so that they don't have to pay the waste facility to do it. You know, maybe we can talk to the waste facility and get them to actually drive different trucks. And there's one truck that'll go just to the grocery stores, load up, and then they'll go to a farmer and beg that farmer to compost it properly. And maybe if I did that, they would be willing to donate one truck to go out once a week and pick up all those beautiful, pick up all of those food scraps. And then we have a BioComplete composting person. Okay, I did decide we're going to leave this off. Then, woohoo! We could drive that truck out and dump it and not have all that added cost. Sounds beautiful to me. Okay, let's rank this bin and see how we feel things turned out. I feel like things turned out really good. So we fed them. So we got the avocado bean. I would say our castings is getting more towards the medium. So we will go with the medium brown bead. So we are advancing along there. Moisture, I'm going to take that down to the middle blue. Because I feel like we're good, better there. I think that we could, so we got to medium population. We're getting in there maybe to the reproduction reduction, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to leave that the gray for medium. And then our cocoons are, didn't really focus on those, but I got them on a medium. So what we need to focus on is reproduction reduction. Think of that. Think of that. Have me keep thinking of that. Reproduction reduction. This bin gets to go back on the shelf. And I hope you guys come back to see me at the next bin, where I now remember what it was I promised to talk to you about or tell my story.